Welcome to Seasons of Life, a biblical perspective for how to navigate life's ups and downs. Do you feel overwhelmed? Or do you feel successful? Experiencing loss? This weekly 15-minute word of inspiration will motivate you to live with more wisdom and peace. Here is your host, Pastor Mercy Oduah.
Welcome to Seasons of Life, a biblical perspective for overcoming life challenges. This is episode 2. If you miss episode 1, you can always go back and retrieve. In episode 1, I laid a foundation on the seasons of life that we go through. There are seasons of loss, pain, suffering, hardship, and there are seasons of joy and blessings. But we have to know how to adjust to every season of life. In the last episode, I was wearing a sweatshirt because it was cold. So I dressed to suit the season that I am in. So also in the spirit, we must equip ourselves when we go through spiritual seasons of life. I want to lay a basic foundation in understanding the seasons of life that you go through. And in this foundation, the two key elements that you need to know and how to apply are faith and feeling. Faith and feeling are very vital in the seasons of life that we go through, especially the challenging times, because that is what this series is all about. Knowing how to biblically deal with the challenging times that life throws to us. I want you to know that when you go through those challenging times of loss, pain, sickness, whatever it is, your faith and your feeling will speak to you. And both faith and feeling have the power to uphold you or to destroy you, depending on the one that you apply. I learned in my own seasons of darkness when I went through difficult times of loss and pain. I noticed that the flesh, the feelings that comes from the flesh sometimes can speak louder than the faith. Faith is the product of the Holy Spirit in you. The Spirit of God is already in you. And I want you to know that as you go through those hard times, the Spirit of God is still in you. And it gives faith to you. Equally, the flesh is still in you. And the flesh gives you those negative feelings of overwhelmness, anxiety, and depression. So we have to really know how to dress for every season that we're in. There are two types of Christianity. The one that believes that hard time is abnormal, and the ones that welcome hard times. The flesh or the carnal Christian is only excited about the blessings and not the sufferings. But the faith Christian sees suffering as part of life and embraces it. Because in those moments of suffering and pain, God is using those painful time to mold us and to shape us according to his purpose and will in our lives. I want you to know too that the early apostles, they went through their seasons of suffering and pain. It was not easy for them, but they endured to the end. We know of a powerful man in the Bible. His name is Job. Job was a God-fearing man who went through tough seasons in his own time. So painful and so challenging that his own wife asked him to forsake God. What did Job do? Did he forsake God? Did he curse God and died? No. Job responded to his wife in Job chapter 2, verse 10. He said to his wife, "You speak as a foolish woman. Shall we accept suffering? Shall we accept blessings from God and not suffering?" And I asked myself during my time of mourning, my time of darkness, the same question. Can I only accept the blessings from the Lord and not the suffering, the pain? You might say that Job is in the Old Testament, but what about Jesus Christ, the Son of God? God allowed him to go through seasons of pain and suffering in order to bring our redemption. So we can see that seasons of suffering and pain are necessary in our Christian walk. And we must know how to apply feelings and faith. I want you to know that sometimes we are carried away with some preachers that give the impression that Christian life is rosy and cozy all the time. That is misleading. As a matter of fact, our Christian life comes with the package of suffering, and we must be ready to embrace the suffering. Mathematically speaking, it is a simple equation that goes like this: pain, suffering, plus blessings and happy seasons equals to your destiny in God. In other words, it takes the good and the bad to produce the will of God in your life. It is not a one-way stream. So it is time for us to get over our feelings sometimes so that we can embrace the suffering, knowing that God is equally at work in the suffering time. These are the revelations that helped me when I was dealing with the loss of my son my father and my brother within 4 years. I discovered that it takes both seasons, the good seasons and the bad season, for me to reach my destination in God. So I want you to apply faith when you go through the bad season. And you don't have to look for it. The Spirit of God in you will produce the faith if you allow Him to. Shut the door to the voice of your flesh because it will speak, and listen to the voice of the Spirit and embrace the faith that is producing in you right there. So may the Lord bless you as you go through your own seasons of pain. Know that God is right there with you. Shut the door to the voice of your flesh. May His power and may His grace and love enable you to go through your seasons of darkness. Till we speak again, shalom to you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Seasons of Life. Until next time, be well, and may God bless you.